What's up, guys? Another video by Dev Typhoon coming at ya. We are implementing the combat animations we made in the last video so that there's a combo move, and we're gonna get right into it today. So here we go. So this is me. I just put in those animations, the files from last time, and I was just setting them up, making sure they were attached to the character. And I found out that I had to manually add them to the animations list under the 3D model that I'd imported in. But then I went straight to the animator, started setting up the animations, or how the animations are going to play out. And so I put them on my second layer. So this is the one that has a mask on it, so that I can use the animations at the same time I'm walking and even jumping and things. And so I set the mask up here for each of these to not include the legs at all, because I don't need those while I'm walking and running. And if the other layer isn't being used, it'll use the whole animation. But it just makes it so that I can attack at the same time as run, instead of having it stop during that animation. And then you can walk and hit, which would be kind of lame because you'd be at a disadvantage against the bad guys. But I set up the transitions between them, and I set the requirement to 3 different bools that can be passed. So attack 1, attack 2, and attack 3. And very simply, from the start state, if attack 1's called, it will go to attack 1. And that one's the only one that can be called from the start state, so you can't start with the second attack or start with the third attack. And then from this first attack, if you hit the button again, it'll go to the second attack, and if you don't hit it at all, it'll go back to the start phase. So I had to implement that in coding though as well, because it's the exact same action button that you're clicking when you're doing these attacks, and so I had to make sure that it didn't just continue to play attack 1. And so I spent a long time trying to think this through. Well, not a long time, but I spent some time thinking about this, and I coded out this whole segment, which you see me put together here. And I just didn't quite have the right idea. I couldn't comprehend real fast the start of how I could set the attack to start and not restart when I click the button. So eventually, though, I just got rid of that whole part and started a new one. And so more or less what I had is I had 2 bowls, and when you hit the action button the first time, it would check to see if the first bowl was false, and it was by default. And it would set that one to true, as well as play the first animation. And then if you hit the button again, it'll run the second part of that if statement, which is the else. So it's, because now it's no longer true, or no longer false, it's true, which will go you to the next set. And I basically did that twice with both bowls. So that I could have 3 separate action presses through that button, which seemed to work really well, and so I was happy that that turned out the way I wanted it to. And then I just had to make sure to adjust the transitions between the 2, because I didn't want it to play the whole animation, because I have each animation resetting back to the standby phase to make that transition smooth if need be. So I cut it off at a certain point in the animation, so that if you click that combo button, it will transition and skip the ending of each of those animations, if that makes sense. As well as adjusted some of the speed and things, and I took a look at it. And the way I've got it set up right now is it's not automatically identifying that I have a sword, so I manually do that every time. But I get the 1 attack, and there's no combo, it just goes straight back. So there's a bit of an issue, and I think part of it was the animation was actually going too fast, and so I slowed down the animation, and I was able to get the combo working. But I had a couple issues. So the first thing is the third hit, so 1, 2, 3, is broken. So I've got to fix the animation there so that it doesn't go through his body and look really, really weird. The other issue I had is that even though I set the mask up, it stopped me from walking. And it took me a few, I had to go back and check and make sure all my masks were correct, and each of the animations seemed to be fine, and so it really confused me for a few minutes. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I checked that my event was calling the cancel correctly, that I had the layout right. I did it in mining already once. I mean, you can mine while running, but I just couldn't get the attack to work while running. And then I found out, of course, it was a very simple mistake in my code. I originally didn't have the forethought to think that I would be attacking while running, so I actually set a barrier in the code itself saying that I couldn't attack while running, basically. basically, so running wouldn't work while attacking. But I changed that. Now it's working just fine. I can run, I can jump, and I can attack all at the same time. Dodging and attacking I can't do at the same time. More or less, the attacks are working. There's a combo set up, and we're on our way. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Please leave a comment if you want to see something added to the game, or if you just want me to add something random. So it'll be fun. I want to see some input from you guys. Thanks, guys.